From our Washington, D.C. studios, this is the Muslim News on Muslim Network TV. Assalamu alaikum, I'm Hena Zuberi. Our top story for today. Columbia University's fall term began amid heightened tensions and fresh protests. On the first day, demonstrators gathered outside the iconic New York campus, echoing last term's large-scale protests against Israel's war on Gaza. Police arrested 2 people despite claiming the protest was peaceful. Demonstrators, many clad in keffiyeh scarves, chanted "Free Palestine" and drummed loudly, drawing attention from blocks away. Inside the campus, students and staff faced rigorous ID checks, while a red-painted alma mater statue was cleaned after being defaced. The previous academic year ended with a police raid on a Free Palestine encampment and a brief occupation of a university building, leading to more than 100 arrests. A new BBC investigation has uncovered a dramatic rise in illegal Jewish settlers' outposts across the West Bank. It found 29 established in the past year, the highest annual figure recorded. These outposts, which lack official boundaries and are illegal under Israeli and international law, have rapidly expanded since 2019. Palestinian grandmother Aisha Shahia recounts a harrowing incident when a gun was pointed at her to force her off land she has lived on for 50 years. BBC analysis, including satellite imagery and social media, confirms the proliferation of these illegal outposts. Many of these are linked to violence and harassment against Palestinians by Israeli settlers. The UK Foreign Office has condemned the violence, urging Israeli authorities to address the impunity surrounding these events. Israeli strikes have killed 42 Palestinians and wounded 107 others in the past 24 hours as violence continues to escalate in Gaza and the West Bank. Israeli attacks have killed people in northern Gaza and targeted a home in the Nusayrat camp, leaving 1 person dead. As Palestinian children were being vaccinated for polio in Deir al-Bala on Wednesday, witnesses say Israeli jets were striking Bureij and Malghazi refugee camps. Both these areas were excluded from a humanitarian pause in fighting and the vaccination campaign. The Israeli military operations in occupied West Bank have entered their 8th day. There have been raids in the Jalazon refugee camp, Qalqiyya, Al-Khadr, and Al-Azza camps, killing at least 33 and injuring 130 since August the 28th, mostly in the city of Jenin. An Israeli attack on Nama College, a shelter for many Palestinians, has killed at least 6, with dozens of others trapped under rubble. The Israeli army has warned that without a deal with Hamas, a large-scale operation in Gaza could jeopardize Israeli hostages' lives. Israeli daily news, Yediot Ahronot, reports that the army has told political leadership any extensive ground operations in Gaza would risk the lives of the remaining prisoners. Israel is currently holding about 9,500 Palestinian prisoners, and there is an estimated 101 Israeli prisoners in Gaza. Hamas is claiming many prisoners have died in Israeli strikes. Israel has killed at least 40,861 Palestinians and wounded 94,396 in its nearly 11-month war on Gaza. However, the British medical journal The Lancet has estimated that Israel may have killed more than 186,000 Palestinians in Gaza. Israel faces accusation of genocide at the International Court of Justice, which has ordered to halt military operations. The White House has revealed that a proposed ceasefire deal for Gaza includes the phased withdrawal of Israeli troops from densely populated areas, particularly near the crucial Philadelphia corridor. This corridor is the sole link between Gaza and Egypt. National Security Council spokesperson John Kirby says this plan, which was initially presented in late May, mandates the removal of Israeli military from high-density zones. However, Palestinian officials say Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is complicating negotiations with new conditions. These include controlling the Philadelphia corridor and the Rafah border crossings, which Hamas officials say are aimed at derailing the truce deal. Netanyahu's refusal to withdraw troops from the corridor has intensified tensions and led to a rift with Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant. Amid growing public unrest and calls for a ceasefire, efforts continue by the U.S., Qatar, and Egypt to broker a deal that includes a prisoner exchange and humanitarian relief. Story number 5, break 1, take 2. Houthi attacks on tankers threaten Red Sea ecosystems. Details come after the break. Stay tuned and we will be right back. U.S. Central Command, or CENTCOM, has issued a warning regarding recent Houthi attacks on oil tankers in the Red Sea, highlighting the significant risks these attacks pose on maritime ecosystems. On Monday, CENTCOM reported that the Houthis targeted 2 tankers using ballistic missiles and uncrewed aerial systems. The MV Amjad, which was transporting approximately 2 million barrels of oil, is currently at risk, while the Greek-operated MV Delta Sononian is still on fire from an earlier assault. CENTCOM condemned these actions as, quote, reckless acts of terrorism, citing their potential to destabilize regional and global commerce and endanger both lives and the environment. The Red Sea is a vital route for global shipments, making these attacks particularly concerning. In response, CENTCOM plans to bolster protective measures and collaborate with international partners to address and mitigate environmental damage. In reaction, Houthi officials have defended their actions as a legitimate response to what they describe as ongoing aggression and violations related to the conflict in Gaza. They assert that their attacks are a form of resistance against broader regional tensions. Bangladesh's interim government is weighing the review and possible cancellation of Memorandum of Understanding, or MOUs, with India if deemed detrimental to the nation. Interim Foreign Minister Tauheed Hussain clarified that MOUs, unlike binding treaties, can be revised or revoked based on national interests. This move is seen as an early signal of the new administration's approach, potentially shifting from previous agreements that favored India. The interim government emphasizes a fresh evaluation of agreements to ensure they align with Bangladesh's current needs and priorities. In June 2024, former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's administration signed 10 MOUs with India. Meanwhile, India has declared 28 Bengali Muslims in Assam non-citizens and sent them to a detention camp. The Indian government, however, does not detain Hindus and other non-Muslims who enter India illegally. Muslim News has a special report about the current tensions between India and Bangladesh. The World Bank has halted all paid advertising on X, formerly Twitter. This is following a CBS News investigation revealing that its ads appear under racist content. CBS News discovered a verified X account with more than 115,000 followers posting offensive imagery and pro-Nazi rhetoric, which showed World Bank ads featured in the comments. The organization condemned the incident, saying its ads were appearing alongside unacceptable content. It has promised to cease all marketing on the platform immediately. Observers say this highlights ongoing issues with X's content moderation since Elon Musk's takeover. That includes dismantling safeguards and changes to its verification system. CBS News found multiple businesses' ads displayed under hateful posts. This has raised concern about X's ad placement policies and content moderation practices. The World Bank's move underscores growing scrutiny over how social media platforms handle advertising in relation to extremist content. A new poll reveals a striking divergence in voting preferences amongst young men and women for the upcoming presidential election. While 67% of young women under 30 are backing Kamala Harris, only 29% are choosing Donald Trump. In contrast, 53% of young men are supporting Trump compared to 40% for Harris. This represents a staggering 51 percentage point gender gap. The support for Harris amongst young women is attributed to her advocacy for reproductive rights and breaking historical barriers. However, the strong preference for Trump amongst young men is less clear. Observers say many seem drawn to his brash persona and what they describe as traditional masculinity, despite his controversial past. In related news, a recent WDIV Detroit news poll reveals a razor-thin lead for former President Donald Trump over Vice President Kamala Harris in Michigan. Trump garners 44.7% support, narrowly ahead of Harris at 43.5%, making the contest a dead heat in this crucial battleground state. Independent candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. struggles with less than 5% support as he seeks to remove his name from the ballot, with 4.8% of voters remaining undecided. Amongst committed voters, Harris leads slightly with 45.7% to Trump's 44.1%. Both candidates show similarly favorable ratings, with Trump's standing unchanged since July and Harris seeing an uptick in positive views. Voters see Trump as stronger on economy and foreign affairs, while Harris is viewed as better for democracy and trustworthiness. As the November presidential election looms, both major parties are grappling with concerns over election integrity. Democrats accuse Republicans of restricting polling access and undermining voter certification. Republicans claim Democrats are manipulating ballots and voting machines. Former President Donald Trump, who is facing criminal charges for attempting to overturn the 2020 election results, continues to claim election fraud, while Vice President Kamala Harris vows to uphold democratic principles. Federal and state agencies are preparing for potential disruptions, recalling the January 6, 2021 attack on the U.S. Capitol. The U.S. Election Assistance Commission reports the system has remained stable, despite increased threats and lawsuits challenging new voting rules in key states. Election officials nationwide hope for a smoother process this year. This is amid lingering partisan tensions and allegations reminiscent of previous election controversies. In Georgia, one of about 7 states where Trump and Harris are virtually tied in the polls, Democrats have sued to block new election rules they warned could lead to post-election chaos. In Colorado, where Harris is expected to win the state's 10 electoral votes, there are indications some Republican county clerks may withhold certification of November's results. That's all from our Washington, D.C. studios. Thank you for watching Muslim News. We're a community channel dedicated to bringing you news you can trust. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment on what you thought of today's coverage. Thank you. You can donate now by visiting muslimnetwork.tv/donate. For more content, keep watching Muslim Network TV. Assalamu alaikum and good night.